So Dad is going to give gifts out, and then the Charlotte, I guess you need to start off, and your family, you need to tell a story from your family in some way that you remember in the past that would be kind of cool.
How about next year we'll do
So I remember being scarred as a child by someone that's sitting beside me here, because every time we go by and get a Christmas tree, Uncle Charles or Uncle Kendall would always tell us somewhere way back in the forest where he'd been chopping down trees, you know, for the pulpwood deal. There's some perfect trees back in here. So here we go, driving back in there. And we're small, we don't know where we are. And he always told us we were lost and would never get home again. I just remember just weeping like this is going to ruin Christmas for somebody.
Rick needs to tell a confession about where the Christmas tree came from one year.
Yeah. And then on the other end, when I married into the Douglas clan, yeah, we sent them to go back and get a tree because Mother didn't like the tree that we got. And they went and chopped down the landmark cedar tree that was growing in Manchester.
At night, nobody saw us. But I want you to know Rick was a major part of that.
Oh yeah,
Were you with it?
No.
I gotta go down with it. If I'm going down with it, he's coming with me.
We did. We had some great memories. And it really didn't ever matter what we got Christmas morning, because I have trouble remembering what I got every year. But it was just the magic. Mother always put magic into Christmas. And I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you bottle that up. But she was able to bottle it up and hand it out. So thank you for indulging her.
Who wrote that Christmas tree down? But how many of you like on the tip of it? They had to write it down. This was my ornament. It's our Volkswagen van with a Christmas tree. That reminds me of.
So here are the Christmas cards for our bunch. Cody and Jordan. Here we go. And Dad, you want to give that to Cody and Jordan. Here we go. Here. Cody's coming. Jordan's got a baby. Jack, you're next. Jace. Here's Jack.
Yeah.
He's our soccer player.
Ow!
I played soccer too. Jace, did you hear him?
Yeah.
This is Jace.
Chase, that's good.
These are, what are you, our fullback? Not quite full enough for that. Russell. Here we go. Russell's new to our family.
Yeah, Russell. Good to see you, Michael. You doing okay? Good.
Hazel. Hazel. Oh, yeah. He wants to help. Oh. Molly and Mark. Molly.
And Mark.
Love you. Jared. Whoops.
Hi.
Jared is missing a game today to be here.
He's missing a ball game.
Game.
Basketball. He's a terror on the court.
You want that?
Noel. This is our artiste, our resident artist.
You go? My goodness.
Hunter. He was in the town play this year, and you can't imagine the hit he was.
Oh,
Way to go.
Whoa, somehow I can't let Dad give it to you.
yeah. Oh, well, proud of you.
He got carried away at the song time.
Jewel,
Really carried away. He forgot he wasn't the only one up there.
We get to go to that world.
she's our video. She's our And here's Pearl.
Pearl,
There you are. How are you, Miss Pearl?
thank you.
Miss.
She's named Rana. Hey, that's the Douglases. Any other Douglas? Have a story to tell? Anyone else want to have a story from the Douglas clan? Molly?
I just have one question. Got one question. How many times did you have to talk Washita into not kicking him out of college?
Several.
I have a visual
A visual.
of him at our house.
I remember twice, but
That's hilarious.
Dean Dixon
Oh, no,
wasn't
no,
our.
not for, oh, yeah, she was.
Was he on speed dial? Dean Dixon? He was in the choir.
Rick, I've got ours. All right, that's it.
You just gonna sit there and let it go?
Well,
No contest.
there's no defense.
That's okay.
Yeah, I can still picture Rick and Charlotte outside the dorm when the dorm mommy called Daddy and said I was not in my room. And I was in somebody else's room asleep, and Charlotte was like, "Don't you ever call my parents again, I still see them. Until you check that whole dorm."
Me telling the door mom?
I was listening.
I remember being in high school and Dad beats on the wall going, "Come here." He said, "Go find your sister. They can't find her. Do not come in the dorm." So I had to go drive all over the campus trying to find her.
With you.
I didn't know I came out honest.
And found her down, usually down there at the railroad tracks. Walking across the top of the railroad track,
That was BJ, that was before
across the
Jim.
river.
My turn. Who's got it? Got it? Okay. So y'all have some stories you tell. You can remember here, but I'm gonna tell one a long time ago when we used to play Cowboys and Indians when it was okay to say Indians and Cowboys. And so one of the Cowboys back then was Have Done Will Travel, and it had little cards on it. You got little. Yes, what's his name? Paladin. Yeah. Anyway, so I know one Christmas I got the Paladin stuff. I got the two pistols and everything that went with it, and the little cards. And Uncle Charles, who most of you guys do not know, Uncle Charles was kind of the prankster. Okay, and he died of a heart attack when he was how old?
49.
When he was 48. But anyway, he was there at the house for some reason. They were in from Alaska where they were living, and so he and Dad, probably more him, but he and Dad thought it was a great idea to put a firecracker in the end of the gun.
Oh my
Right? I mean,
God.
wouldn't that be cool to shoot the gun and it kind of looks like it's going? But they didn't really think about those guns are made of plastic. And so they put the firecracker in, and I was probably 8 years old maybe, or maybe younger, I can't even remember, but shot it, and it just exploded, And I'm sitting here just like this in shock. Just, there's my gun that just went up in smoke. And they were laughing, and just hilariously laughing. Never a sorry, I never did get another gun, I remember that. Never was replaced, but they got their fun out of that.
Didn't you get cut with the
What?
plastic?
Huh?
Didn't you get cut?
I don't remember that
Ronnie
part.
Lawson got
Ronnie,
beard.
Who did? Ronnie? Okay. All right. Anybody else have something to say from our family?
Pop, Hunter said thank you for the money because he was down to only 2 pennies and $1. Yeah, he started with $2.
Kristen really hated not being here.
Well, let me tell one on Kristen.
Well, your turn is next.
Well, I know, but I'm gonna.
Part of the
It's a both. It's a two. It's a twofer.
You're worried that everybody be gone by the time you get here.
I'm worried in my story, the only two I remember will be gone.
All right.
Well, let him tell
And
the
so-
story.
No, tell the story. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, no, so, one year we decided it'd be a good idea to play joke on the kids and get them to go to bed. Oh, thank you. Good. Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Story goes over. Story, there's no
So-
story kids.
So,
That was one of those that was inappropriate.
You're about to.
So, yeah.
Good job, Molly.
It could be told in the right way.
yeah,
but we're just not
that
sure
wasn't it.
something's
Yeah, I
different.
got it.
We got some smart kids in here.
I do want to say something for some of you kids here. We used to always go out and get these cedar trees, and we would go find them. And I think Charlotte was talking about them a little bit, but you may not have known. And I'm just noticing that this year, Molly got. It's not a real one, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, boy, it is.
Yeah, outside is the real cedar tree.
Oh, outside is the real cedar tree, but this one is not. But which you can tell because it's perfectly shaped.
Well, this is like a Uncle Kendall tree farm tree, but it is real.
It is real. Oh, it is real.
It is real.
Are you serious?
Does anybody have a child?
Anyway, the tree's real. Let's move on. Okay. Well, we got most of these guys were not here.
All of your family.
Mark and Brittany. All right. We're the only ones here.
Stand up. No, stand up. Y'all should get all of it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's what I said. You get a bonus for being the one who's here.
Billy and Marcia.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where's Marcia?
Okay. Amanda joke.
Sharon, that's really
Well, you may, I don't know.
This may be hard to tell. Because the lien against the United States is still in probate. Pop left the van on Christmas Eve.
That was
Ran
gonna
it
be my
into a
story.
tree because we were going to try to go up Icy Hill. And my wife left early instead of in front of me by time.
because
I'm telling
we
you.
had to cook quail before we left.
Well, Pop jumped out and ran out to help. Get up the Icy Hill in front of the house.
No, you're wrong. You weren't
You
there.
tell the thing.
I got all the way to the very tip of it and it wouldn't go. And so Dad's gonna take care of it and back it down into the Phelps. Ever so gently.
Put a,
And all of a sudden he starts going back and you hear the
and
It went
that
all the way down the hill and into, I'm surprised he didn't go back to the roots.
caused my wife's insurance to be canceled. Which I was with MFA for 41 years. I called the vice president of the company. I said, you mean to tell me you'll cancel my insurance because my wife can't drive? I said, you got it. So that was it. I'm not with MFA ever again.
That was a fun year.
Yeah, it was.
Did a dog not make it? Somebody should know the story about Sean.
Oh, no, that was, yeah, Max. He did that again. Ran over a dog instead. Ran over Max right in front of me.
Really?
I popped down.
Oh,
Max didn't look good.
Okay.
Wait, I have a story. I tell it every year, but I have to tell it every year.
Allison's telling me.
This is my like favorite story about Nana and Pop, and it's kind of their claim to just how much in love they were with each other till, the last day. they kept that spark. But when I went to Ouachita Baptist, I used to do my laundry at their house. And I'd come over, I like drop it off. I think Nana was helping me with it. And I was like, all right, I have class or something. I was like, I'll be back. So I come back and I can't find them. I don't know where they are. And I'm like, Nana, like yelling around. Well, I get outside and they're in the hot tub. So I like open up the door, which they got in the hot tub kind of it. Open up the door and they said, hey. And Nana said, oh, hang on, honey, let your grandfather get his trunks on. And I'm immediately like, I'm like scarred. I'm like, okay. I'm just gonna get my clothes and go. Like, no worries. And he goes, no, it's fine. She goes, just come on in with it. And I said, well, I don't have a swimsuit. She goes, well, obviously those aren't even. Forever scarred with the hot tub. I don't think I ever got back in the hot tub. But I loved it though because they just they had a true just like love. It just up until the last day. So,
Hey, the funny part is Justin did the same thing and walked out on him in the hot tub.
They had that spark.
And we donated Tyler's money to a little girl at Lake Hamilton, Zaylee. She's a foster child. And the counselor did not think that the foster parents would be able to do much for her for Christmas, so she's going to take her shopping with her $100.
Good.
We love it.
100 savers.
Sailor.
Here we go.
If you lost any teeth, you don't get it.
No, he's not.
Please have to give it all away.
Hank.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you.
Let's see what you got.
And Allie.
Hey. Let me see it.
What the story when we were growing up, downstairs in our house had air conditioner. Mom and Dad's room had air conditioner, but the rest of us didn't have air conditioner. And Billy and I were in the attic in the top room.
Where all that cool air went to.
And so at night, we had the attic fan on, and the attic fan was below us. And so, the air would do pretty good. But whenever we thought everybody was asleep, we'd shut the curtains, or shut our door, and so then that fan would just go right there and we'd be real cool. And all of a sudden we'd hear somebody beating on the wall. Open that door! Open that door! And his dad down there doing that. And then one night I got up there and I got the curtain shut, and it was father coming down on me. And Billy said, "You need to open that curtain." I said, "No." And he jumped up and it was in the dark, and all I saw was him coming down on top of me, fixing to get me. And I put my hands up. And when I put my hands up, it hit his hands, and he went across me and flipped into the floor. And then Dad was beating on the floor. And you boys better not be doing anything up there. That's about all I remember. And then Billy probably beat the heck out of me after that.
Dad put it on a timer even.
Yeah.
And then it'd go off, and we'd just be, no, and then we'd go put the timer back on for an hour.
All right, Drew. Big Drew. Drew Jess.
Big Drew.
Sorry, we go. I know he doesn't like that. Jackson.
We got married in the
Rebecca. Beckham broke his hand, the wrist at school the other day.
Uh-oh.
Beckham, give Papa a hug.
Were you hitting somebody? Did you fight?
You big pop.
You open that.
And then, Jenny.
Hey, Drew, I just hugged everybody while he was Yeah, he didn't care who had
Wes. There's not one in there for you.
So excited.
Hey, give him a hug. Thank you.
Will. Caroline, Michael. And then Lily.
There's a dad. Yeah. So we learned that young.
You know Lily, don't you?
Just as our candy.
Ricky's getting $50.
Probably none of you owe it. Probably none of you already owe it.
All right, who's next?
I'm gonna open up the floor to my kids. Do y'all have a story you want to tell since y'all were here?
I think I always have really good memories of us every year on Christmas at Pop and Nana's house. We would do the nativity scene, and one of the older cousins would always read from it, and we always had to fight over putting random sheets over our heads and walking around the house, and that was always a good time getting to do that.
Bathrobes.
Yes, the bathrobes.
Yeah.
Who, whatever the youngest kid was, got to be Jesus, and
And then we'd all sing Silent Night.
yes.
Anybody, Nate, you have any?
I'm not a storyteller.
This is my ornament. Not me. We had a Volkswagen Bug that was, what was it, red, and it had a top that you could slide back. But not many people can say they've fallen out of a moving car and has survived. But that was. Can you remember that story?
I remember a little bit.
So what?
He knocked her out of the car.
Yeah. So we were going to a wedding, and then what happened? We were coming around a corner, and what'd you do? You pushed me out.
I don't know.
Yeah. So the door was coming. It was in a curve over there by the big Henderson dorm. By the Henderson dorm, it was a curve, and we were going around the curve, and I guess Daddy could tell the door was coming open. Of course, we didn't have seatbelts on or anything, and next thing I knew, I was falling out of this Volkswagen Bug. But I think Mom wasn't too happy when.
But you told everybody.
Yeah, that Dad pushed me out of the car. All I could see was him coming and grab for me, but I thought he pushed me out.
And the 6 children and Mom, Dad, drove all the way in an unair conditioned bus in the middle of the summer to Florida. With no seat belts, no nothing.
Standing up, where you pull that back, we were standing up. That was our air conditioning.
Yeah. Out of the top.
All
my friends had, nice cars. They were wealthy people, and they had real nice cars, but they wanted us to come by and pick them up so they could all stand up and, with their eyes.
I remember being a kid at Christmas, and we would have, breakfast and do all the things, and then Nana would say, "Okay, it's noon. You kids go wake up lawns."
Yeah.
My kids indulge me a little bit because I love the memory of Christmas. And so I make them do a lot of things and they're very kind to me. So last week I had a song, it was called The Crowded Table. I think I sent it, I don't know if y'all listened to it, but every Sunday, most Sundays, not every Sunday, my kids do come to lunch, and that's something that I remember growing up was our Sunday lunches that we had, and how even when we came back and lived with Mom and Dad, that was where we would go for Sundays a lot. Was we would drive right past the Minuteman. We wouldn't go there, if y'all remember that. We couldn't even stop, but that's something that they've given to me, and that I hope that I've given to my children. There's traditions of cupcakes and ding-dongs when you go get the Christmas tree, and just the little things that you remember growing up that has made an impression. But it's been a joy for me to have my kids and be around their grandparents. All right, I'll let you.
All right, Will and Helen.
And we're excited to have her.
They get to.
There you are.
Oh, baby, did you
Nate.
that to me?
What?
Right here.
Bro.
Good. Proud of you. Madeline. There you go. There you go. Josh.
$500.
I don't know how much you get.
Don't be comparing Daniel to somebody else.
Being married has hurt.
Madeline is graduating tomorrow, so there is a tip jar in the kitchen for y'all to put all this in the tip jar for Madeline for graduation.
Right in there.
Just sign the checks over.
Of course.
You're gonna get a commission on that?
Yeah, that's right. She does. We had to Memphis in the morning.
Congratulations, I think that's
Our
good.
friend worked hard.
7 years making it's not bad to get it down to 7 years.
Broke my record of 6.
Well, Dad and I did a lot of bonding time growing up, mostly around things that need to be done around the house. That was our bonding time. We held a lot of flashlights and went on a lot of wood runs. We went on a wood run one time that I will never forget. He just had a rear-wheel drive truck and driving down logging roads to go get wood in the rainy season, and that was always a good combination. And so we would go. I remember we went one time, and I mean, you could still see the road where we had pulled off. We were already stuck, and it was horrible. Water, and we were, we filled up every tree and bush and put under there. I thought we were never. I was a kid, and I thought, man, we're never getting home. I thought that was for real that time. We're never getting home out here in the woods. And I was trying to talk him into just turning around, because here we are, like we're going nowhere. Well, we didn't turn around. We finally got it out after a long. Actually, someone came and pulled us out, but he didn't stop. We just kept going. We kept going deeper into the woods. We found where we were going. Dad selected the best tree to cut down, and I said, "Dad, we got to move the truck. They're still laying right on it." He said, "Oh, it's not." I said, "I mean, look, you got this angle." He said, "No, So he said, "Fine, go move it." So I must have been at least 14. So I moved it over here, cut it down, and it landed right on it. I mean, it laid it right in the back. Wham! And it broke all kind of stuff. The gas can was obliterated. His glasses, there was an extra chainsaw bent up. Back of the truck and so that was okay. We got through that moment. Cut that sucker up and started loading it. Dad's pretty strong. He was grabbing that thing just with his arms, not even his hands sometimes, picking it up. It had these big vines on it. Oh, beautiful, beautiful vines that were on it. And so he was picking those up and we had that juice all over us. He did especially. So we got home and started kind of itching. And before long, I think it was by the next day, it was unreal. Because that had been poison oak. He's been inoculating himself. Like, I think I had a long sleeve shirt. But anyhow, he ended up going to the doctor. Had to get a new pair of glasses, had to fix the chainsaw. You know, for a rick of wood, what was a rick of wood? Like, you know. I remember it ended up being like $500-600 for this whole deal. And the wood was gum. Oh man. Didn't burn a stick of it ever. It's still in that house right now. You try to split that, we brought it out, I'll never forget. We brought it out and said, okay son, I like splitting this. And man, I hit that thing, almost bounced back and hit me in the head. They call it gum for a reason, not just the balls. But that was a really good opportunity to bond. Spend some time together. We saved a lot of money doing our own wood.
Yes.
Film circle.
Yeah.
I imagine we all have some of those stories on that. Saving money on the wood.
Yeah, we did.
I know Rick does.
Yeah, that time Rick popped gold in the head.
Not cold out.
About knocked him out.
He said, get up from there, you're okay.
He had a concussion.
You're all wanting to call down
The
that.
accident, even the head, you had to have stitches.
Oh man.
Oh, it was.
It was a Chinese partner where we throwing wood to each other.
Oh, that was.
And Cole stepped right in front of Rick when Rick had it. He wasn't but probably 3-4 years old. Knocked him right off his feet.
I'll tell you when I turned 13, I decided I wanted a motorcycle. And I talked to Dad and finally I said, Dad, I really want a motorcycle. He goes, okay, which one you want? Just pick out the one you want. So I thought, man, I'm getting one. So we picked out one and he goes, well, when you want to go get it? I said, can we go Saturday morning? Yes. So Saturday, I couldn't sleep Friday night. Couldn't sleep at all. We get up Saturday morning, he goes out, we get in the car, and he starts to start the car, and he goes, how are you going to pay for that? I said, I don't have any money. He goes, let me know when you do. You got to have the
Like parenting 101.
Testify to that. That's good.
Then I made a deal where he helped me pay for it because I was making $1 a day. If I got that motorcycle, I got to make $1 a day at the laundromat to clean it. So that paid for my mowing.
Are you hearing this, John?
And I tried to make a point with it,
It was a good point.
and I think I did. If we can remember that.
When Potts caught on fire that time,
Yeah.
was that before the remodeling?
No, it was in 2000.
Was it after the remodeling?
Yeah, that was 2000.
Somebody needs to tell that story.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, the ice storm 2000. We were all the lights went out at the house, and so we had candles sitting around on tables. And Pop walked by, no electricity. Pop walked by with I think you had your robe on or something, and it caught that flame, and you went up. And so Dad and I don't remember who all was there, but Dad ended up
beat him to death.
I know. I don't think he got hurt from the fire. He got hurt
from the beating.
I said, it happened so
Saved his
fast,
life.
it was just.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
I can remember waking up to the ice storm and hearing
this
tree.
Jim looked out the window and he was, I don't think I can repeat probably what he said, but he said, "Get your stuff, we're leaving right now. Those pine trees were just falling everywhere."
Oh, man. Oh, wow. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was
That was their 50th. Was that? And
Yeah,
that's
where
where weeks and months planning their 50th reunion, and then we didn't have it.
Yeah.
We
never
had
got
the
a
tape.
picture.
We had the tape of over in Alma.
Yeah, so it was.
Cole drove me down in his Jeep.
We didn't go out to the country that year because, and that was where we had planned to have their 50th.
It's funny nobody mentioned the country.
I have to tell one on Nana. One year, I think it was right after Christmas, Jenny and I, and probably Allison and Molly and Kristen, I think we were all sitting around talking to Nana. I don't know if we've ever told everybody this.
Is this on our mouth?
Yes. And we were talking about how it's unusual because we all have tour eye in the top of our mouth, the extra bone that curves down instead of up. And she was like, "Oh, isn't that sweet? We could just all be called the Bone Hump Girls."
And she probably thought that was
Oh,
hilarious.
she didn't even know what she was saying. It's so innocent.
And Kristen rattled her. She cracked me up
Oh, dear.
with the laundry.
Still
She's
like
like,
I'm
"Mommy,
sorry,
oh,
we got distracted.
That's where she gave her the box that had nothing in it.
That's right, she did. Oh, well, they didn't get it here. Oh, you haven't done yours. Okay, that's why I didn't. Yeah. Go ahead and do it.
All right, you call them out?
Yeah, she has a good.
Get all that.
Abigail and Colin.
Sorry, I took that.
There you are.
Good, how are you? Yep. Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna have to do something with you.
Oh, boy, Devo.
Total knee replacement in January, so I'll be on my feet there. But no, I as the eldest, I appreciate, getting this many people together on Christmas is really unusual. And this younger generation that's coming back is super, inspirational to us and encouraging. So we thank you for your efforts and the spouses that have bought into this. And I know how hard it is, and we appreciate all of you that come back and bring food and make it magical. Nana would be, she'd be blown away that we're still getting together, and she would love seeing these new babies that she's not gotten to see yet, and how good of parents you all are, and daddies and mamas, and we just appreciate all of you as a family and the fact that you come back and spend this time, and especially the Wallaces for all the extra work. Yay. Yeah. And this is the new country, and some of you never got to experience the country, but the hay rides we had out there and the football games that we had in the ice, climbing up in the loft, the bag swing,
Uncle Kendall's alarm clock, stereo.
All the gag gifts and the homemade gifts. And so the traditions continue in a different way. And so I encourage you all to find your own traditions and to and to continue, you know, with your children and their children. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for the Wallaces.
I think Brittany has kindly said that she would take some pictures. We were probably not going to get just a huge group picture, but if your family wanted to get a picture with Dad or brothers and sisters, I think, you know, we'll go and do that, maybe individually, if you want to do that. Since getting a cedar tree is a part of most of our lives, and our kids, we actually at one point would all 6 of us get on a 4-wheeler and go out at Bismarck and get a cedar tree and drag it. I don't even remember how we drug it, but we would have all 6 of us. So we have. Jim stole one on the highway by the came on. But every time we go to Charlotte or up in that area, we see those beautiful cedar trees on the road, and Brent promises me one day he's going to bring me one of those back on the highway. But this has been an unusual year for everybody. I know we've all experienced good times. I know we've all experienced a different kind of world that we're into. I know it's been a hard year for me, and Gina, you know, it's just been hard with the isolation and just the conflict that we've had with it. So I wanted this time to be sort of a memorable time, and remember Mom. So I got that cedar tree. My husband is very nice, and he obliges me a whole lot, and so we went out and found after about 5, I had to make sure it was the right one. He cut it down, and so that's our memory tree out there. So if you have an ornament that, like, you know, the bus, I brought that one that has reminded me of going and getting the cedar tree. And I know that we all have memories that we want to include of Tyler. We didn't want to not talk about Tyler and what he's meant to us and to the family and the fun stories that we all have of Tyler. And so I know some people have already put their ornaments on there. If you'd like to tell a story, or you can go out there and put your ornament. You can take your ornament back. I can keep it. But I know that not only we've lost Tyler, and he is not here. He's still in memories. And also I know there are others. Cody has had a significant loss with his dad. So, and Kathy with her husband, and Mom Chu died this week. So there's been at work. Anyway, I left 30 minutes before someone actually died outside. A 30-year-old died outside of my office, and so there's just been so much of that we just need to remember, especially the people that have lost so many lives last night at that nursing home in Kentucky. And so we're just fortunate that we live day to day. We know that our Lord and Savior is number one in our life, and I just pray that we will continue to have a light shine for Him each day. So anyway, okay, I'm going to start.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyway, I've got 2 cardinals, because when a cardinal appears, it's a gentle reminder of a loved one who has passed through. They are no longer with us. They remain forever in our hearts. So Mother loved her birds. You know, she loved them, and she made us all love them. And I watch cardinals all the time and see more this year than I've ever seen. So, but I think it's because I look for them. So I got these for Tyler and Mom.
I brought a deer rack, and when Tyler was at U of A, he would bring his buddies down, and they would hunt behind the house. And one day he was there hunting by himself, and he killed a deer. Nobody was there but he and I. And he said, what are we gonna do? And I said, well, you've gotta hang it up. There's some place there in the barn, Rick usually hangs them, and you've gotta gut it. And he said, I've never done that. And I said, well, we can do it. So we just split it.
I've skinned a cat before.
So he hung it up there, and we just kind of had a good time, you know, splitting it. And I said, I think you're supposed to not get into the urine bag or the stomach. Just don't put any of that. And so we were careful about that. But we had a fun time taking pictures, and so.
I have a picture of him in a doctor's coat and gloves on. And,
Yes, I dressed him up so he would look the part. So it was really a lot of fun. But he enjoyed everything, and he was game for whatever kind of trickery you were up for. So we've got one of Rick's or one of the kids' racks or little horns out there to put on the tree for him. Oh, whoops, sorry.
I brought a house because we were neighbors with Tyler and Liz for years. And that's how our little house.
Marcia, you want to tell what we wrote?
Well, I just put Tyler's picture on the football. And we all lived our Razorback dreams through Tyler playing, and that was so much fun, and he loved the ball so much. And then with, I just brought some little wreaths and put their name on it, because I thought they both love to be outdoors. And then one crazy angel that the hair's all fuzzy and crazy. Remind me of Anne. Just so she's an angel somewhere flying around, shaking her head at all of us. But we've already put ours out on the tree. I did bring one that Sugar. She used to knit these little baskets for Easter, and I had kept one, so I'll put that.
I brought a Santa, a fishing Santa. I know how Tyler likes to fish. And then I found one with a mother and a father, a little boy and a little girl. And I know what family his family meant to me, so I brought that. For Nana, I brought an angel because she was always an angel. She was the best mother-in-law you could ask for. And then I brought a squirrel. I found a squirrel. I know how she loved her bird feeders, but she couldn't keep the squirrels away. So I know she put slinkies on them sometimes and all that. So I thought the squirrel reminded me of her also.
When they found this in Happy Mountain, how fast to leave, we never come down.
I think the worker was going to call suicide hotline.
Looking up like, what is wrong with that too? I'm still fishing in his.
Yeah.
He loved it.
I really am.
I know what it is.
I brought an angel that has a little birdhouse on it from Nana. She loved her birds. And then I brought angel wings. Because I'd rather not have a just a special one. And I know he's not here, but I know he's with me. And I think of him as my forever guardian angel. And then I brought a cross that says, live a life filled with love, and I think they both did. So that was really
Yeah. They both had contagious smiles and laughs. Yeah. Anyone else?
I just remember usually camped out over here on the couch over here, and anybody around him, he was always making fun of everybody that walked through the building, walked through.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you were sitting over there, you were lucky because he wasn't talking about you then. But he was talking about it while, he popped over there doing this or that, or, I mean, he was always, they were making jokes over there in the corner, the whole day.
But he learned that from Cole. So you see how that rod is bent where Brittany is? That's because he pulled down that curtain
That middle garden.
That middle curtain, every year when he was here.
Tyler would always sit right here, and he would pull this curtain down, and Molly would say, "Tyler Morgan," and he just laughed.
Yeah.
I brought a little bird myself, thinking of both of them.
Yeah.
Nana and I spent a lot of time looking at birds. That was just her thing, and redbirds. She can tell you every one of them. Chickadee, titmouse, and everything, yeah. Tamara doesn't believe there is such thing as titmouse. She thinks I like birds. But anyhow, I thought her, and then I thought of little Tyler too, because if it was an animal, he'd shoot it. He'd kill it. He'd like to do all that. He's very into that, so, yeah. Miss him.
So if y'all want to put them on the tree, you may. It's something, it's up to you if that's something you want to take and your ornaments home, because you'll be able to remember it, or next year I can put them on again. So
Sailor and Hank, are you gonna show them the one you made?
No.
And, painted?
anyway, they painted last night, his daddy, and they both put their name on the back.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm eating.
We like your ornaments, Hank, Sailor. Alright, let's go to that.
You gotta put your
Molly, you had one you brought, you painted yourself.
Yeah, I brought two for Nana.
I would like to say just a word or two. You thought,
Yeah.
How about that? She just started. Give Molly a chance
No,
and then finish
that's all
up,
I was
Dad.
saying. I didn't have a team, I just said I brought two for Nana.
Okay, yeah,
That's all.
That was all you
did
did.
I say,
No, I was done.
Go for it, Pop.
All right, you got it.
now you made me forget what I was going to say.
Sorry about that.
No, I tell you, you just open your eyes from where I am and you span the room, and it's unbelievable that we have such a family. And that there's a lot of love and caring that goes on in this entire family. We don't get to see all of you as much as we would like to. Those that live close by, oh, you so much close. But it is a joy to come and see this group, all of us together. I don't know how many we don't have here, but not many. But all of the family, when it starts up here and it begins to develop into a major number in the family. That's great. These little ones, I tell you, there's nothing like them.
Yeah,
Nothing
they
like
have
them.
been good.
All this group over here, y'all have been so good listening today. I want everybody to give y'all a hand. Y'all did so
Your mothers and daddies weren't that good.
good. They weren't as good as y'all.
The mother of your group, and that was my first wife, was something you did not beat in any way. She was a great lady. She was a great Christian lady. And she didn't matter what, she was there to be with you and to help. We have a few of you who, got to know her pretty well. Some of them in the latter years did not, because she ended up passing away at an early stage.
80. How old was she? 80?
76.
Oh, 76?
No, Oh, does it?
Doesn't now, it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, it was old to me and young to go.
Yes, it
And
was.
that's,
It was.
and this is, and all of you that knew her knew a great lady. I've been around women, been around men, and I can tell you that she was one of the best that I was ever around. And I thank the Lord for her, and I look out here, I just almost break down in crying, not for one reason, but for many reasons, and just say thank you, God, for what you have done, and it has been a help to me. I have a good wife right now, but if she were to ask me how she fit into my life now, it would be hard to give her the real answer, because it is difficult for anyone to take her place. She didn't have anyone. Guys and gals, I love you all the way up and down. It's right here and right here and right here. I can see the life that is in them as they play. Go down the list, it's unbelievable, how that we have such a great family. I look at one over here and I say, that's the tallest girl that we have. And I say, she's great. She's got a good husband. And so live and let live. Love you all. Thank you for being here. And that doesn't, I'm not saying only for the older, younger. I'll tell you, for the older, the first 6, then they have made a lot of space and places for us. So, we love you, take care, and watch and keep these children going up in the right way.